Everybody, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. I saw a snippet of dancehall artist Squash Mother, and she was basically upset. She was very angry. She was irate. She was cussing. She was carrying on her life, and she was basically hitting back at many persons out there who were under a comment section and seemingly be posting disrespectful or insulting messages towards her in reference to her son, Squash, who is incarcerated overseas, and they're saying that he has took a plea. And so she's very irate because people are calling him informer, snitch, a rat, this, that, and the third. And because of such, it really infuriated her, and she was clapping back at the persons on her live. She was also upset with TVJ because TVJ seemingly had posted some report about her son and stuff like that. And so she is mad as shad. But here's the thing that I am looking at. I'm wondering why a lot of persons, why you guys just don't leave her alone. Listen, the thing is that we know who Squash is. We know that he professed to be a gangster. He professed to be about that life, professed to, be associated with certain people out there. There have been several reports about him over the years being associated with a life of crime, basically, just to sum it up. And so with this predicament that he's in, it comes as no surprise. His mother is a person who is very vocal all the time on social media. And so I'm looking into the situation and I'm saying that it cannot be an easy matter for her to deal with. It matters not if you see her as a bad person or if you see her as a good person. She still has hell to deal with. And a lot of persons' coping mechanisms are different. Many persons turn to drinking, many persons turn to smoking, many persons turn to a lot of things out there, gambling. So many sorts of coping mechanisms that are out there that persons are actually turning to. Maybe hers sometimes or oftentimes is really social media to turn on her live and just speak to the public. Oftentimes we see her on her live and she's speaking something positive and she's saying something about, uplift yourself, pray for your kids and all these type of things. So she has been on her live and I've said positive things. The predicament that her son is in could never be something easy for her as a mother to fathom. And we know that the connotations behind calling her a crasmite, kerosene, a bad mother, worse mother, the type of mothers who support criminal sons, yeah, we get that. We get that, but I'm questioning why you guys just don't leave her alone. Because if you get all of that, why are you constantly poking the bear? Why are you constantly provoking her? If she's on her life, you don't have to go over there. You don't have to go over there and be disrespectful or anything like that. A person is within their right to go on their life. And yes, when you turn on your life, it can go in any direction because it can be anybody that's under the life. Trolls are around for a reason and stuff like that. And so people will actually troll you. But there are also persons out there who may know her personally and they are on their comments and, they are at odds with her, enemies of her son. And so they see her as a target and stuff like that. But I'm saying that you can actually leave her alone. Am I supporting her behavior? No. But remember that there are persons out there who deal with situations differently. Like I said, the coping mechanism is one. Different methods of coping mechanism is actually one. There's also persons who lash out, people who, the poor emotional intelligence and all of that. But it's their way of dealing with situation that is around them. And if you're constantly poking them, eventually they're going to strike back. Not everybody's going to take a beating lying down. Not everybody's just going to absent from social media. Everybody's not that type of person who's going to stay in recluse. Sometimes there are persons out there who like to be out there, you understand, regardless of the situation that encompass them. So with the situation with her son, I'm just wondering why people don't just leave her alone. Yes, you guys have said it, and all the things that you are saying that are insulting and disrespectful, she has heard it before. I believe she has seen it before because she's on social media. So clearly she would see the negative comments and stuff like that. But at some point you can leave her alone. Hey, you guys did the same thing to Leah Tavares Finson. Remember the baby mother of, I think Dogpaw is his name, who was a reputed gang leader associated with a life of crime and stuff like that. You guys gave her grace. You guys gave her grace. So many persons have spoken her, so many vloggers have spoken her, but at the same time, you guys gave her grace. Is she on social media like that? Not necessarily. So I can understand the dynamic when it comes to her staying away from social media, and so people give her a little bit of leniency in terms of the ostracizing and stuff like that, or reprimanding her. But at the same time, you guys have to understand that Squash mother is already aware of the insult, because what you guys are saying is something that you have said before. So she's actually aware of it. But on the other hand, there's a difference. There's a black woman and there's a white woman. Now, when there's a white woman, you guys are going to behave different. You guys are going to approach a situation different. And we know that. You understand? So there has to be a reason behind you guys not calling Leah Tavares a crossmite, low life woman, and all these type of things. But at the end of the day, you would simply call Squash mother easily that type of woman, using those adjectives. So I'm looking into the situation, like I said, and I'm saying that, just leave her alone. Leave her, let she be about her business, because it's not easy. There are parents out there that are going to stick up for their children right through, whether they're right or they're wrong. Is it the right thing to do? No. Is it the right method? Absolutely not. Because there are times when children should be scolded. Children should be told that they are not right. However, we are dealing with a mother who has sons who are full-grown adults. Squash is not a child. Squash is not a teenager. And so it will be a little bit different. However, we don't know what takes place behind closed door. We don't know what she's speaking about her son, or she's saying to her son behind closed door. And so we can only left to think, left to ponder about it. But what we do know is that she comes out in the public eye and she supports her son. She's one of those type of mothers. She's one of those type of parent. Fathers do it just the same. I've been to the courthouse several times. You understand? And there are people who know that their children are doing wrongs, or they are involved in a life of crime, but they will support them. They will follow them to the end of the earth. Obviously, Squash mother is one of those type of women. And if she's one of those type of women, yes, she should expect the onslaught. Persons are going to come at her, especially if there are victims out there of Squash. So she should expect the onslaught. But I'm just saying that if you guys are repeatedly on the live saying the same thing over and over, rubbing salt in the wound and trying to make her feel bad and all these type of things, I think that you guys should ease up a bit, because none of you know what she's going through behind closed door. You understand? And I'm not supporting criminal or supporting criminal behavior. I'm just saying that the badgering and the bantering at all times and poking, sticking it to the pig, I think that you guys need to just ease up. You understand? None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. And I will not profess to be a perfect individual. I am just saying that where there are areas where you can, if you are not interested in showing any remorse, you can ignore and move on, or pretend as if you didn't see it. You can do that. You understand? I get that she and her son, they put themselves in such predicaments, so they should expect the backlash from the mass of the people. That part I've said before. But I'm just reiterating that sometimes in life, when you see something out there and it's constantly negative and it carries a negative atmosphere, you can leave it alone. I would also caution his mother to stay off social media. And if it's not something positive or something uplifting she is saying, it's best to not say anything, because oftentimes you're making a matter worse than actually making it better. You understand? Like I said, she has often speak about prayer, speak about praying for your children, being there for your children. She have also spoke about that oftentimes on her life. I've seen the on the FYP over on TikTok. I've seen it. So I'm not going to badger her and say that she's a terrible or worse or all of that, because there are parents out there, several of them all across the island, that will support their children, whether they are right or they are wrong. And like I said, that's not the right thing to do. I am just looking from the angle that you guys are constantly saying the same thing about her and speaking on her. And if she has that magnitude of an issue to deal with, knowing that her son is going to prison, and all of that, and knowing that he took a plea and you guys are seeing everything being played out before your very eyes, it's not something easy for her to deal with. It's not something easy for her to cope. And so you saying and doing, and it's actually making matters worse. It's not making matter better. There are people out there who will not change, and sometimes you just have to leave them alone and let them fall on their own sword, and wherever it goes, that's how it goes. But I'm just saying that here lies this situation, and I just think that you guys have said enough. I think you guys have said enough. it should be an end to the insult and the disrespect. The same way how she want an ease, I'm sure you guys want an ease also. And going over there and constantly be poking and saying the same thing, nasty comments and using all sorts of adjectives to describe her and her son, to the point where she is now retaliating and attacking back and saying nasty and derogatory things about people in the comment section. How is that making matter better? How is that making you guys feel better? It's not making anybody feel better. As a matter of fact, if you go on the live, you may end up feeling worse. Worse after than before. So that's all I'm saying, guys. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.